So I just saw the Nickel Boys not too long ago, actually like 2 weeks ago, at the New York Film Festival, just at the Alamo Staten Island Alamo, and it was really terrific. I wanted to like go super deep into this film, especially since I was really excited to see how the material worked from like the book to the screen. I read the book a long ago, actually back in January, and I thought it was a really riveting book about the Florida reform school that had a bunch of boys trapped inside of the school during the 1960s Jim Crow era. So I'm going to go super deep into this film and some of the reasons why I love this film, and I think it's probably one of the best films of the year. So let's tap in. I have been considering trying to exemplify my personal experiences with black struggle films lately, recognizing them as pathways out of generational challenges despite some of them being very generic and dramatic for the common community. Yet there are instances when a film boldly seeks to stretch the artistic limits. Nickel Boys exemplifies that ambition and asserts it with such a unique identity. Ramel Ross employs his documentarian expertise to position the camera in unsettling positions and utilizes the first-person point of view cinematography throughout the film, which basically transcends its past its own gimmick. In contrast, this year's In a Violent Nature attempted a similar technique but failed as it was perceived as a gimmick through and through. Even going further, Rommel even places Floridian symbolism to keep the narrative spinning. Gators roam the streets of dark alleyways as one of our main characters is hiding from the malignant forces that be. Pre-existing documentary footage of the space race and MLK speeches drench the overreaching narrative. At the heart of the film lies a poignant tale of brotherly love between two friends striving to live past the Jim Crow era. Elwood is just very depressed and is unjustly incarcerated at Nickel Academy for car theft, basically attempting to mentally escape his own grim reality while yearning for his grandmother, played by Angela Ellis Taylor. Meanwhile, Turner supports Elwood through the harsh realities of academy life, characterized by slave labor and contemplative conversations between both of them. From the outside, Elwood and Turner both demonstrate a brotherhood to each other, and they strive to navigate their challenges through circumstances and basically as one person. In its initial 30 minutes, the film establishes a profound emotional connection, setting the stage for a compelling exploration of resilience and brotherhood amidst the adversity and obviously racial issues at the school and just around their area. The pre-existing media stretches past Elwood's inevitable future as older Elwood, played by Daveed Diggs,
Say the line, Bart!
It's clipping, bitch.
is grappling with his own past demons. And when I mean pre-existing media, there's actually clips of the Portier Sydney film, The Defiant Ones, which is basically transfixed and interplayed into one of the main character's motives as a black teenager around this time. And it's mostly dealing with how that character reacts to the police at that time. And I thought it was a really interesting kind of narrative technique that you can use for filmmaking, especially since I've never seen a type of film that would play around with just pre-existing media and just use it for other stuff inside of the overall narrative. I've seen a couple films that have done that before, but not like the Nickel Boys. As someone who read the book not long ago, Nickel Boys lays out the underlying problems of the reformed school, as it had a lot of slave-like hierarchy system that punished black students for misbehaving in misguided intentions, while also obviously lifting up their white students. The school hid black bodies all across the campus and were basically murdered by adults. Spencer, who is played by Hamish Linklater, is a teacher who was complicit in all these acts of violence. The film itself doesn't shy away from its heavy themes of racism and prejudice. However, it doesn't dwell on those violent acts of nature. The optimism and the hope for the future lies basically underneath the first POV cinematography. And from all that is basically the performances in this film, led by really incredible actors. Ethan Hessery and Brandon Wilson give probably the best young acting performances of the year, while Angela Ellis Taylor, for a limited screen time, steals the show. But yeah, overall, this is basically like the zone of interest of this year, as it's very experimental, but also overtly inviting for any audience to try out and learn more about how race relations work in different bodies. But it will be a hate crime if this film doesn't really get attention during this award season, especially coming from like Ramel Ross's direction, as he deserves a Best Director nomination along with picture, editing, cinematography, and supporting actress as well. But that's basically my 2 cents with the Nickel Boys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Take care. Peace out.